Assalamu alaikum everyone. Am I audible to all of you? Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, Miss Laiba, Walaikum Assalam. You are audible and you are clear.
Okay. So dear all, thank you for joining this awareness session of ISO IEC. Today I want to talk about an important topic that affects all of us in the field of food science and technology. Before diving in, let me take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Laiba Malik and I'm thrilled to be your host for today's session. I have been actively involved in the processing and preservation field in Pakistan, and currently I hold the position of General Secretary of Jinnah chapter at our organization. During my journey, I have witnessed the immense potential that lies within our organization. In this session, we'll explore the latest advancement, challenges, and opportunities that lie ahead and learn about ISO IEC. Is the combination of two international organizations, International Organization of Standardization and the International Organization Electrotechnical Commission. They work together to create and publish standards that ensure consistency, quality, and safety in various industries. ISO focuses on journal standards, while ISE specializes in electrical and electronic technologies. Their collaboration helps promote global harmonization and facilitate international trade. Throughout this session, I encourage you all to actively participate, ask questions, and share your insights. Let's create an engaging and collaborative environment where we can learn from each other and broaden our understanding of this crucial aspect of our field. So, it's the time to introduce our with great pleasure that I introduce our speaker and mentor Junaid bin Shakil, a remarkable individual who has dedicated his career to the field of food science and technology. He has not only achieved excellence in his work but has also been instrumental in mentoring and guiding aspiring professionals. Please welcome Mr. Junaid bin Shakil.
Thank you very much, Laiba. And Assalamu alaikum to everyone. and good evening, good morning, according to your time. So, before we start the session, let me just check that the streaming of the YouTube is fine or not because a lot of participants are on the uh, YouTube. So, just give me a second, then we'll start the session. Fine or not because a lot of participants are on the YouTube. So just give me a second, then we'll start this. Okay. Okay, so welcome to the new ones, new participants as well, and to the old one as well. So my way of explanation and delivering the session is very familiar with the old participants, but I would like to make it clear to the new ones that the slides are for you. I'm not going to read the slides. Slides will be a basic introduction to every section that I will speak. So please concentrate more on my voice and a little bit less more on the slides. I'll give you time to read the each slide. That will be around 30 seconds to 1 minute. So let's start. So this is the updated version of ISO 17025. It was updated in 2017. So you can go through this and then I will start with the basic introduction. What is ISO IEC 17025 2017 version? Okay, you have a minute to read out the current slide. Thank you very much, Sammy. Okay. So, ISO, IEC, and so on is an international standard that outlines the general requirements for the components of testing and calibrations within the laboratories. So, if any one of you are from the field of the lab work, whether you are from the quality control, whether you are from the nutritional side, whether you are from the you can say chemical engineering side, so this part of ISO will be very useful for you, and it will be a very beneficial for you to learn about its internal audits and lead audits of this standard. So currently we are just going through the awareness session. So I'll be discussing only the general guidelines and the working of this standard. So uh, you will have the basic idea to understand how it is done and how it is implemented. So moving on further, it provides a very good framework to ensure that the laboratories can produce in consistent, accurate, and reliable results. So the standard covers various types of aspects, including the personal competence, equipment calibration, testing methods, and quality management, along with the reporting of the results. So the compliance with the ISO IEC is an often a requirement for the laboratories. So if and let's for example, let's say an laboratory is seeking an accreditation, so they need to demonstrate their ability to generate a valid and traceable results according to this ISO standard. So um, we will move on to the scope and management system, personnel, equipment calibration, testing and methods, sampling, quality results, quality control, document control, and accreditation. So I will be discussing these 10 points within this uh, session. So yeah, the scope, the normative references, terms and definition, and management requirements, technical requirements. So, but see, this is the main point where I want to highlight some of the differences that we have gone through from this changes between the version of 2005 and the latest version that is 2017, which includes the following. These are the differences between these two, that the general requirements along with the structure, resource and process and management system are tagged along with this current version, or you can name it as the latest version. Okay. So you have a minute to read out. If you want to write it down, you can write it down. You have a minute, then we will start understanding the scope of this standard. Let me know in the chat that my voice is clear and audible to everyone. Okay, because a few participants are complaining about the voice issues, so that's why I'm asking again. I'm using a very specialized mic, so I don't think there will be any type of issue in the voice. Okay, see, there are a lot of international participants in this room, so I cannot speak in Urdu. But if you have any type of, you can say, concern or an doubt, you can ask me. Then I will explain it in Urdu on your request. If you don't understand anything, let me know. I will be happy to repeat that and explain it again in Urdu. No issue. Okay, so I guess the differences between the two versions, the old one and the latest one, is clear. So the new one, you can see the laboratory definition is updated within along these requirements only. Okay. These are the things that you have to keep in mind if you want to get your laboratory to get accredited. You shall indicate a requirement, should indicate a recommendation, or you may indicate a permission, and can indicate a possibility or a capability. So there are 15 management requirements and 10 technical requirements in this standard. Okay. So these are the messages in 5 lines. Just to make you understand, please don't memorize it in this standard. It is just to make you understand that say what you do in the if you want if the audit is going on of your laboratory, you have to say what you do what you say, record what you do, check the differences, act on the differences, and the message in 1 line is that do the right thing first time and every time to achieve the constant quality, and it's reflecting directly to the continual improvement in the way of your life. Okay, these are some questions that are for your understanding. So does the laboratory say what they do? Are there any written documents like policies, procedures, arrangements that mean the requirements of this current ISO? So you can answer them if you want to. So let's take a, you can say, a little bit of brainstorming session, or you can say break from the presentation. How many of the participants knows what this is actually, what this standard is about? You will get the entire session slide in the WhatsApp group if you are in, and I will share it with the my organization. They will email it to you as well. So before moving further, let's engage with the participants for 2 minutes. So how many of the participants are familiar with this standard? Let me know in the chat. Okay. Anything special you want to add about this standard, or do you have discovered anything special, or you can say unique, that you want to share with the other participants? Hmm. Okay. Okay, these are the contents that we will be going through them. The scope, the normative references, the terms and definition, the general requirements, structural and resource requirements, process requirements, and management system requirements. Okay, okay. So I guess a lot of participants have no idea about this standard, but in my opinion, in my view, you at least you need to have a basic awareness about this standard, because um because the laboratory section, I guess, is the part of every or mostly of departments or the specializations that you go through. So the quality control will be very good for you if you are from the quality control to understand this standard and apply it to your laboratory. Okay. So we will go through the scope first. What is the scope? You have a minute to go through this slide, then I will start discussing and explaining. Okay. So the scope of the ISO IEC 17025 2017 is a comprehensive, and it is applying to all types of testing and calibration laboratories, regardless of the size and the nature of the service they provide. So you can say it encompasses the requirements for laboratories, competence, quality management, and personal equipment, where it is we can also name the testing methods, reporting results, and aiming to ensure the reliability and accuracy of the laboratory outcomes as well. So uh, see, you can understand the from the slide that what is this? that the accreditation bodies. Let me know how many people are familiar with these accreditation bodies. This I have also made the full form of the EA, SATCA, ICAC, APLEC, so ILAC. All of these are the accreditation bodies which provides the accreditation of this ISO. Is also country-wise accreditation bodies are here around the world. So EA is the European one, SATCA is the South African one, the Inter-American Accreditation Corporation, and the Asia one is the generally where we are in the Asian countries where the Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and all of these uh, is there. So, and the International Laboratory Accreditation is everywhere around the world. So Javeria Akil is having in question that this ISO is for any industry of or any for the food industry. So see any industry or any type of facility, whether you can call it the hospital, any facility premises which has the lab, whether it's a mobile lab, a very big lab, and regardless of any size, they can apply this standard and it will be beneficial for them. Uh, as well for the laboratory to be certified by this ISO, and it will be much more better. Uh, Customer satisfaction will be there as well. Okay. Okay. So normative references is the second one. So I'm just discussing the very basic one because I don't want to, confuse you in this awareness session. So I'll be discussing only the general guidelines and the general different type of steps in this ISO. So your you can say basic foundation of this standard will be much more solid and concrete, and it will be better in future if you move to the upper levels of certification in this standard. Okay, you have a minute to go through this slide and we'll move further. Okay, so the azan is going on at my side. So we'll take a 2 minute break and then we will wait until the azan is over and then we'll continue. Okay, so thank you for your patience and let's resume our session. So as I was discussing that as I was discussing about the normative references. So in this current standard, the normative references are the external documents, standards, or regulations that the laboratories are required to follow for the compliance. So the preferences provide the essential guidance and criteria that contribute to the proper implementation of the standard and the laboratories must, you can say, follow and adherent to these normative references to ensure that their quality management system and as well as the technical process align with the recognized industry or international standards. So you can say at one at a time, you are also, or the laboratories are also in enhancing the credibility and the reliability on their testing and calibration activities. Okay. Okay, these are the terms and definitions, if I'm not wrong. Actually, I cannot see the slide. A lot of options are open with this. Okay. These are the terms and definition, the third part of the standard. You can go through this, then I will start explaining one by one. Okay, I hope that you have gone through the current slide. So let's move forward to the next slide. Oh yeah. Sorry for the interruption. Actually, my internet went off for a second. That's why uh, I couldn't continue. So let's start again. As I was saying, that these definitions helps to ensure a common understanding and interpretation of terminology within the context of testing and calibration of the laboratories. Okay, let me resume the recording. So users of this standard may refer to this section to avoid any misunderstanding and apply an consistent language when implementing this current standard. Okay. So the first one, let me get my pen. Okay. The first one is the impartiality. So this is the presence of any objectivity and the absence of any bias in the laboratory activities. So ensuring that the test and the calibration results are free from any undue commercial, financial, or personal interest. Okay. The second one is the complaint, and it is the expression of any dissatisfaction concerning a laboratory's testing or calibration activity. So promoting an investigation and resolution process. Okay. Interbody comparison. Uh, it is a collaborative exercise involving multiple laboratories to compare their measurement or test results, which helps to access the performance and identify any potential areas for the improvement. Okay. So laboratory comparison. So a broader term for encompassing the activities like the inter-laboratory comparison or proficiency testing, where the different laboratories compare their performance in conducting the test or calibration. Okay. The fifth one is the proficiency testing, is the systematic evaluation of the laboratory's performance through the analysis of the test samples. So often it is organized by the external proficiency testing providers. Okay. So I guess the sixth one is the laboratory. So a facility or an entity and the part thereof that carries out the testing and calibration activities. So this includes the organizations, institution, and commercial entry enterprises, all of them to come together in this type of laboratory umbrella. Okay. And the decision one, it's a very important term in this, I can say, standard, because a predefined criterion or a set of rules is used to interpret the measurement results, aiding in making the decisions about the conformity of the items under the test. Okay. Okay, the eighth one is the verification. So the confirmation that the specific requirements for a given intended use are met. So in the current standard, it often refers to the confirmation that the equipment meets the specified requirements. Okay. The last but not the least, validation. It is the process of confirming that a particular method or a process is suitable for its intended purpose, and it produces a very, you can say, accurate or near to accurate, reliable results. So the validation also helps to ensure that the fitness for the purpose of testing and calibration methods are up to the mark. Okay, so I have a request of the ILC explanation in Urdu language. So let me explain it in Urdu. And let me know who has asked the question. Yeah, Zafir. So Zafir, देखिए ILC एक कोलैबोरेटिव एक एक्सरसाइज होती है जिसके अंदर आप इन्वॉल्व करते हैं 3 या 4 से ज़्यादा लेबोरेटरीज होती हैं उनको। फिर उनके बाद कंपेयर करते हैं आप उनकी मेजरमेंट्स या टेस्ट रिजल्ट्स और बाकी सारे ये तो जनरल मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ दो। लेकिन अगर जनरली आपकी कंट्री के अंदर ज़्यादा होते हैं तो आप 2 या 3 या 4 टेस्ट जो है कंपेयर कर सकते हैं, लेकिन अगर वो सेम हो। ठीक है, तो हम इन सबको कंपेयर कैसे सही से लेके चल सकते हैं। सो करने के आप अपनी परफॉर्मेंस चेक करते हैं, आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं कि दूसरा पर्सन जो है या दूसरे साइड की लेबोरेटरी जो है वो ज़्यादा जो है वो कैसे अच्छी है मुझसे। इम्प्रूवमेंट आप अपनी पास भी ला सकते हैं कंपैरिजन करके कि इनके पास ये फैसिलिटी है या ये मुझसे बेहतर कर रहे हैं, तो मैं भी इनकी तरह ही करना शुरू कर दूं ताकि मेरी लेबोरेटरी भी अच्छी परफॉर्म करना शुरू कर दे। तो आईएलसी बेसिकली इसलिए ही यूज होता है। ठीक है। ओके। Okay, Sammy is asking to please elaborate on the validation and verification process. Okay, give me a minute. Verification, let me see the chat actually. Validation and verification process. See, as far as it is the concern about the verification, it is just the confirmation that the specific requirements, like just say for a given intended use, are met. Like I'm saying, for example, that they are meeting up to the standard of this current ISO. Okay. So, but also the verification normally refers to the confirmation that the equipment meets its specific requirement. Let's just say that you have a chemical or any type of test you are going to perform. Okay, Sammy. Now, this test has to be done under the standard of the ISO. It should meet the requirements. Okay, these I am labeling are as requirements. So let's just say if this test is going accordance to the ISO, so then it's meeting the verification procedures of this standard. But let's just say that if it is not going, okay, it is not going up to the standard of the ISO. So what could lead to that big no? What could be the reason? The reason could be anything of this definition. The impartiality was wrong, the complaint was wrong, the ILC was mentioned or comparison was wrong, the proficiency testing was not up to the mark or according to the standard. So any type of mistake which may result in which may not actually comply or align with the ISO standard would be I can say a failure of the verification. Okay, whereas we talk about the validation, it is a process. Verification is not a process. Okay, verification is always an confirmation. Okay, validate, and on the other hand, validation is a process. Okay, so the process of what? The process of confirming that a particular method or process is suitable for intended use. For example, before you can say performing any type of you can say let me recall or think, brainstorm my memory for a best example that I could provide to you. Mm, yeah, I have a good example. Before, let's just say you are going to a market. Okay, you are in a market, and before buying anything, let's just say you're buying a shoe. Okay, this is the best understandable example that I could give to you. You're buying your shoes for yourself. Okay. Now, before you buy, you tell them your size, right? What is the size that you require for your shoes? But even after getting that size, you still try it, right? You try it, you wear it on, you take a little bit of walk. Why? Because you are doing the validation by checking that whether it is suitable for your foot or not. So likewise, the validation process is also the same, where you will confirm that the current process which are you going to perform are particularly suitable for the intended purpose and it should produce the reliable, or you can say the expected results that you want. So you take a little bit of validation check. Okay, I hope it is clear to you now. Okay, let me see if there are any more questions. Okay, my bad. I will try to speak a little bit loud. Ali, I explained the validation. If you want, I can explain again. Okay, Salim is asking to explain the impartiality in Urdu. So, see, impartiality is the sorry in Urdu, sorry. So, ये भी किसी भी चीज की मौजूदगी जो होती है partially, तो उसको आप प्रेजेंस हो गई या आपकी एब्सेंस हो, होना या ना होना किसी भी चीज का लेबोरेटरी के अंदर जो एक्टिविटीज हो या उनके अंदर, वो इम्पार्शली कहलाता है। और दूसरी चीज जो इसमें इम्पार्शली के अंदर बताई जाती है या कहने एक तरह से यकीनी बनाई जाती है, वो ये है कि आप इंश्योर करते हैं कि जो टेस्ट है, जो भी लेबोरेटरीज के अंदर आपकी टेस्टिंग हो रही है, वो सही से कैलिब्रेटेड है, और कैलिब्रेशन रिजल्ट जो हैं वो फ्री हैं। मतलब आपके ऊपर कोई प्रेशर नहीं है फाइनेंशियली, आप के ऊपर सही से आप किसी भी चीज़ की मशीन को आप कैलिब्रेशन आप उसका प्रोसेस नहीं करवा सकते। तो वो ना हो, कोई पर्सनल इंटरेस्ट ना हो कि आपके दोस्त की कोई प्रोडक्ट आई हो, आप चाहते हैं कि रिजल्ट्स अच्छे हों, तो आपके ऊपर ये दबाव ना हो कि ये पर्सनल इंटरेस्ट के ऊपर आप इसकी टेस्टिंग कर रहे हैं, या कमर्शियली कोई इशू ना हो कि कोई एडवर्टाइजमेंट का है, कोई बड़ी कंपनी का है, इनके टेस्टिंग खराब हो गए तो उनका नाम खराब होगा। ये सारी चीजें इम्पार्शली के अंदर आती हैं यूजली। ठीक है। ओके, सो एनी मोर क्वेश्चन? Validation is already briefed. Okay, let's move on, I guess. And this part of this section is here. Let me know my voice is audible or not. Some participants are complaining that they can't hear my voice. Okay, now the general requirements are here. Okay, thank you for the reply on the chat. Okay, you can go through the general requirements. The impartially and the confidentiality. So I'll explain both. Okay. Impartiality are the requirements where the laboratories must demonstrate and maintain the impartiality in their testing and calibration activities. So what this means that they should not allow any commercial, financial, or other pressure to compromise the objectivity and the fairness of their operations. So it is very important. The impartiality is very important and crucial for, you can say, instilling the confidence in the reliability and integrity of the laboratory's result. Okay, where on the other hand, the confidentiality is where the laboratories are required to protect their confidential information which is related to their clients and any type of results of their activities. So this include ensuring that the unauthorized individuals or entities do not access the sensitive data. Maintaining the confidential helps build a trust between the laboratories and its client, and it also, you can say, It fosters a very secure environment for the exchange of information. So our trust build up between the, you can say, the lab and the consumer or the user is very good. The trust between the laboratory and its clients, if I rephrase it. Okay. So all of these requirements both are an overall integrity and credibility of a testing and calibration laboratory. So let's move on. The structure requirements. It's a very simple requirement of the structure. So you can go through this. It will take around 20 seconds. Then I will add a little bit more to this slide. Let me just go through this. Okay. A little bit few things are missing here in the slide, but I will explain in them in the voice. Okay. So the structure requirements are pertain to the organization and management of the laboratories, and these requirements focus on establishing a framework that ensures the effectiveness, competence, and reliability of the laboratories operation. So there are around 7 structure requirements that I want to discuss with you. The first one is the organization's requirements, where the organization has to establish an organizational structure with the defined roles, responsibilities, and with the authorities. So this includes having a management system to oversee and control the laboratory activities. The second one is the management system, where you would implement a quality management system that complies with the principle of this current ISO standard. So the system should not encompass the policies, procedures, and process to manage the laboratory's operation, and it should ensure the quality of the results. Okay. Third one is the document control, where you will implement the procedures for controlling the documents and ensure that the relevant documents are approved, reviewed, and updated as necessary. This will include maintaining the records of changes and revisions. Okay, the fourth one would be the review of the required standards and contracts. You will establish a process for reviewing and agreeing on the requirement for testing and calibrating the services. This involves clear communication with the clients to ensure the expectation are understood and met. Okay. The fifth one will be the subcontracting of the test and calibration, where the laboratory subcontracts any part of its activities and ensures that the subcontracted organizations also comply with relevant requirements as well. So the laboratory remains ultimately responsible for any type of, you can say, quality of the results. Okay, the second last one is the purchase services and supplies, where you will define the criteria for selecting and purchasing the services or supplies. And let's add the consumable as well. Okay, all of these three things will ensure that the purchase items are meeting the specific requirements to maintain the quality of the laboratory activities. Okay, the last one is the service to the client, which is very important. So, establishing the procedures to ensure that the laboratory provides a very accurate and reliable results. So, the prominently you have to address any issue related to the quality of its services. So, all of these 7 structure requirements are designed to create, you can say, a very basic foundation for the laboratory's operations. So, it also promotes the consistency, competence, and the delivery of the reliable testing and calibration services. Okay, so let me just take a little bit of a break for 2 minutes and engage with the participants before we jump into understanding what are the resource requirements. How many of the participants do have an idea about what is PCSIR in Pakistan, Karachi? PCSIR, let me know in the chat. Hmm. Okay, Mohammed Hassan is saying PCSI is a commercial laboratory. Okay. It's a testing institute. My God. Okay. Okay. So, okay, at least I get a one good answer. So let me just clear for those who are in the city of Karachi that the PCSIR stands for the Pakistan Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. The current standard which we are going through is applied to that particular laboratory and the scientific research facility. So it's industrial research organization which is based in Karachi, Pakistan. So I don't want to jump in the understanding what is PCSIR, but it is a very important part in the country of Pakistan and as well as in the city of Karachi. So please have some knowledge about it after the session ends because it is very important if you are learning about this current standard. Okay. This current standard is applied to the PCSIR. That's why you can say I have the logo of PCSIR here in the upside. Okay. So these are the general requirements, 6.1 clause. The general requirements, the following things should be available in the laboratories, the personnel, the facilities, the equipments, and the system to support and to manage and perform the laboratory activities at all. Okay. So you can go through this particular slide, then we will move further. Okay, these are the resource requirements 6.1 and 6.2. So you can go through this. I don't think that I need to explain any of this because it is much more, you can say, than I expected. It is much more detailed. So you can go through this, you can read it. If you still have any questions, let me know in the chat. Okay, I got a request from a lot of participants that please explain the each one in detail. So I will not, you can say, stretch along, but I will explain the general ones. Okay. So see, the first one is the personnel requirements, where you will ensure the laboratory personnel are competent, qualified, and have the appropriate training and experience to perform their assigned task. So this could include maintaining records of their competence and training. The second one is the personnel one, 6.2. Where you will provide and maintain a suitable infrastructure, workspace, and environment conditions to achieve the required accuracy and reliability in the testing calibration activities. So this will include the consideration for lighting, temperature, humidity, and cleanness. Okay. Okay, so the test and calibration and the equipment, all of these, I have to establish the maintain the facilities that are suitable for the activities that are being conducted. So in this part of the requirement, you are required to include the proper design layout and conditions as well. Also, this 6.3, the facilities and the environmental condition extends to ensure that the availability and the proper maintenance of the equipment is up to the mark. Okay. 6.4 requirements of the resource are they ensure that the measurement equipment used for the testing and calibration is suitable for its intended purpose. So regularly calibrated and maintained as well. So calibration procedure should be traceable to the relevant standards. 6.5 is the measurement of the traceability. So you have to establish and maintain the procedures for ensuring that the traceability or of the measurement or to the national or international standard is up to the mark. So this is very crucial for demonstrating the accuracy and reliability of the measurement results. Okay, the second last one, I guess, is the externally provided products and services. So the laboratory will ensure and calibrate all the test data only suitable for the you can say external private products and services. Let's just say the laboratory shall provide or shall have a procedure and retain the records for reviewing and approving the different type of requirements for the externally provided services, as well as for the evolution, revolution, and the selection and monitoring as well. Okay. Okay, now we are at the process requirements. We will review all of these one by one. So 7.1, 7.2, sampling, 7.4. You can write it down because I guess some participants are writing it down. So I am giving you a minute to write all of these process requirement clauses one by one, and I will discuss them as well. Not in a very detailed manner. I will hardly take a minute for each clause. I will keep it very short. Okay, let's start. So the review of the requests actually the detailed part of that of these clauses are not there. We are jumping to the eight, but I will not let that go. I will explain them in the voice. So let's start with the first one. Okay, this one, the review of requests, standards, and contracts. So before accepting any work or review, you review and agree on the specific requirements within the customer, ensuring that the laboratory has the capability to meet those requirements. So, for example, this can include the clarity on the method, standards, and any other relevant criteria. Okay. 7.2 is the selection, verification, validation of the methods as well. So here in this 7.2 clause, you will select and verify and validate the methods used for the testing and calibration. You will ensure that the chosen methods are suitable for the intended purpose, and you will validate them as necessary to demonstrate their performance. Okay. Sampling is very simple, where you will establish and implement the procedures for sampling that ensures that the representativeness and reliability of the samples are there. You will follow a recognized and appropriate sampling method. Okay. Jumping onto the 7.4 clause is the handling of the test and calibration items. You will define the procedures for the receipt and handling, protection, and storage, as well as the retention of the test and the calibration of the items. So this ensures that the integrity of the items and prevents the contamination and to any sort of damage. Okay. Technical records are very simple. Just have to maintain the detailed and accurate records of all the aspects of testing and calibration activities. So for this can include the data, observation, and other information which is necessary to reconstruct and verify the results. 7.6, the evolution of the measurement uncertainty. So to evaluate the express the uncertainty of the measurement results is to involve and identify the existing the factors that contribute to the uncertainty, and you have to be helpful to establish the reliability of the reported values. Okay. Second last is the ensuring of the validity of the results. You will implement the measures to ensure that the validity of the test and calibration results are up to the mark. So you can include addressing issues such as the deviation from the standard procedures, or you can count the unexpected events that may impact the validity of the results as well. 7.8 is the reporting of the results. So you will develop and implement the procedures for reporting the results, and all you will ensure the clarity, completeness, and understanding of the limitation, include information such as the test and calibration methods used and any deviation from the procedures and the measurement of any uncertainty. Okay. Any questions? All of these in these clauses. Okay, so evolution of measurement. Evolution of measurement. Okay, this one. So I have a request to please translate this current part in the Urdu. Okay, 7.4. Okay, let's repeat the 7.4. I guess that the repetition of the 7.4 is has to be in English, right? Should I explain 7.4 in English? Muhammad Jahid. Yeah, okay. Okay, so 7.4 is the handling of test and calibration of the items. So in this part of the clause, you have to define the procedures where how you are handling, okay, how you are handling, how you are protecting, how what type of protection you are providing, okay, what are the storage conditions, what is the retention of the test, and how accurate is the calibration. Okay, these 5 points in this particular 7.4 clause helps you to ensure that the integrity of the items are up to the mark. Okay, and also from the downside, it also helps or prevents the contamination and the damage, because the storage conditions are the main part, or you can say the middle part. I hope that is clear to you now. Sammy, you can. Of course you can. Okay, 7.3 as well. I will explain it again. Let me see. The 7.3 is very simple. It's just you have to establish the sampling, you have to establish and implement the procedures for sampling that ensures the representativeness and reliability of the sample. Like it will be easy to understand for any laboratory expert that what type of sample are we are dealing with. Okay, it should be easy to understand. So for that, you have to establish and implement the procedures for the, you can say the representativeness is up to the mark. It should be understandable to everyone who has a basic understanding and a normal brain of a human. Okay. Okay, so I got a request for 7.6 to re-explain it in Urdu. So see, uh, ये जो clause है 7.6, ये evaluate करता है, मतलब evaluation को उर्दू में मुझे एक्चुअली नहीं पता क्या कहते हैं, मतलब देखता है कि कैसे एवल्यूएट करना है, या बताता है कि इसकी अनसर्टिनिटी, मतलब ये किस तरह से खराब हो सकता है ये मेजरमेंट रिजल्ट्स। सो आप जो है एवल्यूएट करने के लिए मेजरमेंट की अनसर्टिनिटी को आप क्या करते हैं कि आप मिलाते हैं किस चीज़ को जिसमें आप पहचान लाते हैं, और ऐसे टाइप की चीज़ें जो फैक्टर्स होते हैं उनको आप देखते हैं वो क्या कर रहे हैं, जिसकी वजह से ये आपका जो जो क्या कहते हैं एक्सपेरिमेंट है वो खराब हो सकता है। तो आप हेल्प करते हैं स्टैब्लिश करने के लिए क्या चीज़, कोई सी भी चीज की जो रिपोर्ट आ रही है आपके पास, आप उसको वैल्यू देते हैं, क्या ये चीज इस सैंपल के अंदर खराब है, या इस लैब के अंदर ये वाला इक्विपमेंट जो है इसकी कैलिब्रेशन जो है वो 6.9 होनी चाहिए, लेकिन ये कितनी है, 7.4 है। तो आप ये सारी चीजें जो हैं इसका जरिया बनती हैं किसी भी अनसर्टेनिटी के अंदर। इसका क्या मतलब होता है, इसका मतलब ये होता है कोई सी भी चीज जो आप जान के इग्नोर कर रहे हो, ठीक है, या कभी कभी जान के नहीं भी करते, लेकिन आपको पता होता है कि जब इतनी ज्यादा मिसलीडिंग वैल्यूज आ रही हैं तो कोई चीज खराब है, आप उसको फिर भी इग्नोर करते हैं कि कोई मसला नहीं, हो जाएगा सही, ठीक है। ओके, अबू रेहान एज सेइंग खास करना, एक्चुअली आई एम नॉट रियली गुड विद द उर्दू, माय डीपेस्ट अपॉलॉजीज, बट आई ट्राई माय बेस्ट टू स्पीक इन उर्दू एज वेल। इट डिपेंड्स if it is in positive or negative value. Okay, let's move further. Management system requirements, quality management system. Please don't mix it up with the ISO 901. I am please requesting you before we jump into the QMS. It's not the QMS of the ISO 901. Okay. This is the QMS of this current ISO. So there are different type of QMS in different type of standards. So please don't mix it up or confuse yourself with it. So please go through the QMS of the management system requirements. Then we will move further and understand it in a more detailed manner. Okay, so the management system requirements provide the framework for establishing and maintaining the effective quality management system within the testing and calibration laboratories. So there are two options, option A and option B. Let's take a pause from listening. I guess it will be much boring. What could be the two options? The option A and option B. Any suggestions? Let me open the voice. I know it will be a fish market if I open the voice, but still, let's give it a try. Yeah, okay. Okay, you can unmute yourself and give any type of suggestions. What could be the option A and option B? Any contribution? You can open the voice if you want to. Wait. I will allow. Uh, Zafar sir. Okay, try now.
I think option A.
Okay. A good, B bad. Okay, that's one good thing. Any more suggestions? If you have any more suggestions, please.
A.
Okay. This is the option B, and this is the option A. Okay. You will go with everybody is going with A. Okay. So it's both are okay. If someone is going with B, someone is going with A. I'm not saying that the option A is wrong, option B is wrong, or whether the option B is true or option A is false. Both are true, both are okay. It depends which one is better for your laboratory. Okay. 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 So 8.2 management system documentation and control of the management system documentations. You can go through this, then I will start explaining. So, management system documentation is the establishment of the documentation. You have to implement, maintain, and continuously improve the management system in accordance with this current standard. Let me go through the chat. Okay, I will explain the end of the session. Okay, you can ask the question. I have noted down your question as well. I will answer. Yes, Ms. Sania, both options can be applied depending on the standard of the laboratory which you want to apply the standard. Okay. Okay, the management system documentation control that requirement controls the documentation that forms the part of the management system to ensure that they are currently available where needed and suitable for the use. Okay, okay. To the folks at the YouTube, I'm really sorry that I cannot answer uh, your questions, but I will try my best to answer them at the end of the session because there are like 5 to 6 tabs open on my screen. So if I open the YouTube one, I cannot see what I am actually explaining on this slide. So okay. So, no worries. Please note down your questions. Have some patience. I will answer them at the end of the session on the YouTube ones as well. Okay, I will open the YouTube chat as well. Okay. So the control of the management system is where you have to the laboratory has to control the documents, whether it's the internal or external audit that relate to its fulfillment of this documentation. The approved the approved I can say standard, the reviewed periodically, and the updated versions as well. Okay. Control of the records is very you can say easy. You have to just you can say establish the documentation system, and you will retain any legible records. Like if you are making any type of changes, and if you are you can say involving or adding new thing to a laboratory, all of these control of record should be there, and the actions to address the risk and opportunities should be the actions of these risk and opportunities and how to implement plans. Like the laboratory shall take the actions to take any type of risk that you are going to face, their severity, and according to their severity of the risk, the opportunities shall be, you can say, corrected depending again on the severity, which is will be a proportional threat to the potential impact on a laboratory. Okay. So, for those, I know that a lot of participants might not have understood the risk analysis, risk evaluation, and the risk monitoring and control and the post-test operation information. So that's why this graph is for you. What is the difference between the risk and opportunity? So you can go through this graph, then we'll move further. Okay, so that's how you are developing a quality system. In a quality system, you can see as well that the work activities are described in a written procedures and they are carried out in a planned way. So the structure of a quality system confirms that the relevant standards are up to the mark. The quality policy, quality strategy, manual procedures, and work instructions are there. The mission statement is where the policy of the laboratory is mentioned, and how the policy is implemented is known as the strategy, as well as the manual as the description of the quality system and how the standards are usually applied. Okay. The procedures is where you describe how the process which affect the qualities are carried out. And any type of additional detail on how specific jobs are carried out is the known as work instructions. Okay. These are the mandatory documents which are required. These are not for explanation, it's just for your knowledge. If you want to, you can say, get your laboratory accredited, these are the documents which are mandatory to be maintained for the ISO 17025 version 2017. I have added a little bit of few graphs for your understanding. So because this standard is not as same as we are going through the previous standards, it's a little bit different. So that's why I have added the graphs for your understanding. Okay, and I hope that it is clear to you. Okay, I am on the YouTube now as well. I am seeing the live chat. If you have any questions, you can ask. So these are the laboratories which come under the ISO 17025. Okay. Laboratory and quality management manual, laboratory test, technical manual, working instructions, test instructions, forms, and records. And these are the combination of ISO 901 and 17025 as well. Okay. This is a general graph where that I have discussed all of these clauses, how they are giving the customer satisfaction and how the customer is getting the benefit from the laboratory. If you go through this, let me get a pen. If you're going through all of these clauses one by one. Okay, and furthermore, the main part here is the customer. The one we have understood, all of these clauses are there, and the feedback is coming again to your, this is the lab, let's just say. Okay, this is the lab, and it's starting from here. The customer gets satisfied, and it's at the feedback is coming to your lab as well. Okay. Okay. These are the requirements in a chart form, or you can say in a process flow form. I've made these especially for you. So the general requirements, the structure requirements, the resource requirements, the process requirements. I will share the slide with you so you can get a better understanding what are the requirements for this standard as well. Okay. Okay, well, what is needed to start? The application, the quality manual, these are the few steps. You can go through them if you want to start the accreditation process of your lab. Okay, if you are working there, if you are assigned that you have to perform the duties during the accreditation of this laboratory, so this training of the internal audit and the uh, lead auditor in this ISO standard, it's very helpful. You can conduct the audits for the laboratories as well as with the different international laboratories as well. Okay. These are the just few overall benefits of the accreditation. You can go through this. It is just for your acknowledgement only. Okay. Okay. With this, we come to an end to our today's session. I would like to thank you for being here on this current ISO 17025, the version 2017. It was just an awareness session, and I hope that you have understood the basic uh, understanding of this standard, how you can perform the internal audit and lead audits of this standard. That has to be, you can say, a little bit waited, or you can say patiently you have to wait it. So um, I will answer the questions now. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay, Sania is asking how to build a quality policy for any standard. Okay, so you are saying that for the any standard, you have to involve where defining your organization's commitment for meeting the specific quality standard. Like you will understand the standard, then you will identify any type of stakeholders, you will define the objectives, then you will see what are your organization's commitment to compliance, then you will see how much leader support you are getting, and it is followed by the continuous improvement, communication, and measurable targets, as well as the review and update, document and display as well. Okay. You're most welcome, most welcome. Validation is part of this standard. So yeah, validation it is at the end, but it is the main part where you will get approved or you will get accredited for your lab. So yeah, validation is very much important. See, technical management development is, you can say, may vary depending on the laboratories or process. First, you need to see how much test or process does a single laboratory has. Then you can make the laboratory technical manual uh, after you have discovered how many process or you can say different type of tests they are doing. Welcome everyone, welcome. Thank you everyone, thank you for your kind remarks. ओके मोहम्मद सामी। अच्छा, मोहम्मद सामी और जितने भी पाकिस्तानी जो जिनको इंग्लिश थोड़ी सी में समझ नहीं आया, देखें ये आईएसओ स्टैंडर्ड जो है लेबॉर्ट्री के ही लिए है। अगर आप कोई सी भी फील्ड के अंदर हैं जिसके अंदर आपका लैब का काम है, तो ये स्टैंडर्ड जो है आपके लैब के लिए बहुत जो है वो फायदेमंद हो सकता है। ठीक है, तो अगर आप क्वालिटी कंट्रोल के अंदर हैं, आप रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट के अंदर हैं, तो ये वाला जो स्टैंडर्ड है आपके लिए काम आएगा, क्योंकि आपकी जैसे हम नॉर्मली तौर पे स्टैंडर्ड पढ़ते हैं कि वो खाने को सेफ बनाता है, तो ये आपकी टेस्टिंग और सैम्पलिंग को ये वाला स्टैंडर्ड सेफ बनाता है, और आप जो है लैब है जो आपकी उसको एक तरह से एडवांटेज दिलाता है कस्टमर सेटिस्फेक्शन का।
नहीं कनेक्ट होया यार यार ला दे इन पासवर्ड मुनीर @88 नहीं कनेक्ट होया एम कैपिटल अच्छा मुझे दस दे यार
Okay, sorry for the interruption. Somebody actually opened their mic. Okay, so Aisha Malik, I guess. Yeah, there's the answer. She's asking about the differences between, see, ISO 901 and ISO 17025 are both international standards, but they serve different purpose. So ISO 901 focus on the QMS, the quality management system, for any type of organization which is emphasizing the customer satisfaction, continuous improvement, and efficient processes. But on the other hand, the ISO 7025, which we went through today, is we can say is specific to only testing and calibration of the laboratories. So it is only lab related. It is not for the overall management system chain. Okay. So you will ensure that they meet the requirements for the components, and ISO 901 is broad and applicable to various industries, while the current ISO that we have went through, the 17025, is only for the laboratories involved in technical or analytical testing and measurement. For any laboratories in which the analytical testing and measurement is involved, not for food lab only, all of the labs. Thank you, Mr. Ali Hassan. Thank you, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me see the YouTube. Give me a minute that I will just. Okay, if you have marked your attendance, you can leave if you want to. So, the guys on the YouTube, if you have any questions, you can ask me. It depends what type of products they are producing. If it is related to food, then they can make sure that the products are according to the standard they are applying. And if there are any type of, you can say, risk assessments are, of course, in any type of standard is there. So food, especially, see, for food, you can apply the HACCP, you can apply the ISO, you can apply the FSSC. All of these standards rely, or you can say, provide the product quality with the continual improvement. So the consistency in delivering the good products or the quality up to the mark is that the standard is followed according to its principles and steps. Allah Hafiz, Allah Hafiz, goodbye. So the guys on the YouTube, please, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Yes, Muhammad Wasim, we can say that. Thank you very much, Usman Sadiq. Thank you very much. Difference between validation and calibration is also there. Mohammad Wasim, yes, this standard is applied currently in PCSIR, as I mentioned earlier. It depends on you, Mr. Roshan, in which you are more interested. Both are very good. BTech is also good. MTech will be good, but MBA, in my suggestion, is much better if you want to. If you have interest in marketing and you want to move, being uh, in a marketing sector. Okay. So with that, I take my leave from the today's session. I would like to thank you all for being here, for giving your precious time. So I guess Miss Sadaf will conclude the closing speech of today's session. So let me just make her the uh, let me allow her to speak. Okay, Ms. Sadaf, you are. It's on to you now. Over to you.
Assalamu alaikum, dear all. Myself, Sadaf Akbar, and I am the director and the manager of Jinnah chapter in our organization. As we reach the end of this incredible journey, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you. This awareness session has been an amazing experience, and I'm truly honored to have had the opportunity to be a part of it with all of you. I want to commend each participant for their unwavering dedication and active participation. Remember, dear all, that learning is a continuous journey. Embrace your mistakes as opportunities for growth and improvement. Take the feedback you receive to heart and strive to become the best version of yourselves. As we conclude this session, I encourage you all to continue fostering connections beyond this platform. Stay connected, share your accomplishments, and extend a helping hand to those in need. Together, we can make a lasting impact in our respective field. Thank you once again for your active participations and dedications. May your futures be filled with success, happiness, and fulfillment. Assalamu alaikum and take care, dear all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Sadaf, and thank you everyone for being here. So I will also take a leave from today's session. I'm assigning the host responsibility to Ms. Laiba. Ms. Laiba, over to you. Okay, please end the meeting after 10 minutes after everyone has marked their attendance in the form. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, everyone, have a good night. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Everyone, make sure to mark your attendance before leaving. Otherwise, you will not receive your certificate. Please mark your attendance in attendance form. If you all are done with mark your presence, you can leave now. I'll reshare the attendance form.